Hi there, and welcome.
Hi everyone.
Welcome to the fourth webinar of this series. Dinah's going to be looking after the chat. She's just going to mute her audio, and I'm going to get straight on with the slides. Just say hi in the chat. Make sure you say what you can say where you're from as well. We've got a fantastic group. We've got 475 people now enrolled on this series. So I'm really glad you made the live event because I've got some super exciting stuff to share with you today. But what we're going to do is I'm just going to do a quick review like we normally do, and I'm going to do some polls. Having some lovely hugs from right across the other side of the world. We love that in the chat. Okay. So just to remind you, this is the fourth one. It's a 5-webinar series, and there's 4 weeks, if you think about it, 4 weeks between the 5 webinars, because next week we're going to have a Q&A and a graduation, and I'll treat you to a self-shiatsu treatment, a quick 30-minute session, and we'll finish the course off next Tuesday. Okay. So yeah, this is how we're doing the course. Is now 5 webinars, 4 weeks, and then we finish them up. Of course, they're archived. You can go back to them at any time if you want to quickly go back and get your certificate. Okay, don't forget, we've got stuff online for you. We've got the quizzes, we've got other resources. And then if you want the credits, then obviously you just need to complete the course and download your certificate. Okay, so we're going to find out a little bit about what you've been up to, review module 1, 2, and 3, and then we're going to go straight on to module 4 because I'm really excited. I've got some terrific work to help you guide your clients work on the back, which is a tricky one because they can never reach it. And to do that, we're going to use these exercise balls that I told you about last week. Or if you haven't got the exercise balls, hopefully you can use tennis balls and a sock to make them. Okay, so yeah, let's see. Just want to quickly check in with you guys and find out how many of the 3 previous webinars have you been to. Okay, so this is it. So if this is your first one, it's like none. If you've just seen one, then put that. If you've seen all 3 of them, then, and this is your 4th one, so you've done the whole set, then wow, that's absolutely terrific. Look at that, Dinah, 81%, 80% of you have been to all 3 of them. That's terrific. Okay, but if you missed any, maybe you came in the course late, that's absolutely fine because we've archived the recordings. You can visit them, and I recommend that you do skip through those, catch up with the course and get the credits if you'd like that. And also we've got some terrific material for you to explore. Okay. Okay, just briefly for those of you who've only been to a few of them, I quickly just say that it's developed from the series that we did as soon as lockdown happened. We did a webinar series, and this is an development of that. And it's based basically on our ongoing development of self-shiatsu supervision. We're using it a lot. We're really busy with clients doing this work, and we're coming across all kinds of challenges, and we want to share what we're doing and find out what you're doing as well. And by the way, we've got people posting in the forum on the online course, giving us an experience, sharing their experiences of what they're doing. And if you would like to share your experiences and get feedback from the team, we welcome you to do that, because I'm sure you're finding out some pretty cool stuff yourself. Okay, so we've done an introduction to the course. We've done about contacting your clients, how we created our class here and invited you to come and see our class, which is every Wednesday, 10 o'clock UK time, in case you want some ideas, very popular. We've developed a completely new way of doing setsushin based on perception of the client. We've given you an overview of how to put a session together, how to assess whether you need to tonify or sedate. We looked in detail at technique ranges, a bit more about that later, and we looked at insurance and other practical stuff in module 1 and 2. Okay, just want to emphasize that one-to-one sessions really work. They're very popular here, and often we're getting better results than we were with regular shiatsu because the clients more aware of their own energy. It empowers them. They're motivated. They repeat the exercises, and if you use Zoom, they will have a recording. Okay, so we do sometimes just use a phone call, but we recommend you use Zoom because then you can record the session and send them the video. You need to send it by WeTransfer though, because they're big files. That's one thing that's come up. Okay, as we found out when we did the diagnosis, really the only thing you can't do very easily is Setsu Shin. You can look at the client, you can ask them, you can listen to what they're telling you, but the Setsu Shin is the challenge. That's okay though, because we've developed this special way of doing the Setsu Shin. And this is what we use. This is the map. We get them to tune into the 3 burners. We then differentiate the burners into the intestines, kidney and bladder, liver and stomach, and then heart and lungs. And we found that clients can very easily give us information on that. So it's really working well. Okay, and so it looks like that in a grid. Okay, and then another big thing that you really want to figure out is, are they basically deficient? Are they better for rest? Okay, or are they stagnated? In other words, better for movement, because that will change how you plan the session. Okay, are you going to make it more tonifying or more sedating or moving? Okay. And then week before last, in the second webinar, we did a very detailed, in fact, we did a very practical session. We tried out all these different techniques on ourselves. It was a terrific hour. It was very, very fast paced, but we got through all of these different modalities and we kind of explored how we could use them to tonify and sedate the client. So when you're doing self-shiatsu sessions, it's not just acupressure. Although that is a great thing, you've also got breathing exercises, qigong, yoga stretches or meridian stretches, and doin. I mean, we've got a whole palette of stuff that we can use to help our clients. Okay, and it's not what you do, it's how you do it. So slow yoga with lots of internal breathing can be tonifying, whereas obviously faster yoga can be more moving. Right, we talked about equipment, Mar rollers, okay, where anyone remember those back in the 80s? Those were the days. And you can, of course, use tennis balls. Yep, that's absolutely fine. If you Google tennis ball exercise balls, you'll find there's tons of stuff out there. So we recommend putting a sock in it, putting them in a sock. Okay, and you can Google how to do that too if you can't figure it out. And these are the ones that we use here. We've got duo balls, we've got an 8 centimeter and 12 centimeter one, and I'm going to show you some terrific techniques for working on the back in this session. Okay, so last week we did a whole session, right? Did the whole questioning thing, the diagnosis thing, working in different positions, tonifying, sedating. If you missed that session last week, check out the video. Okay, we covered mainly working the legs, the arms, some stuff on the face, a little bit on the neck. And so we've left out several areas that we're going to work on. Okay, so I'm going to ask you, so that I can get an idea of how you are in the, as we work through the stuff, I'm going to ask you, do you think you're deficient? Generally, are you generally better for rest or better for movement or mixed? Do you think you're deficient or excess or stagnated? What do you think? Let's have a look. As a group, let's see what you are. Do you think you're totally balanced? Yeah, I love it. Okay. Let's see whether you're... Last time we got a perfect curve when we did it with our exercise group. Let's have a look what we've got. Let's see what we've got. Okay, pretty much, that's pretty good. Okay, we've got 60% of you, a bit of both, which are kind of in the middle. Slightly more stagnated though, 14%, and about 10% of you mainly deficient, okay? And 2% of you are totally balanced. I love it. It must be because you've been doing these classes, right? That's cool. Okay, so we're gonna adjust some of the techniques later on, all right? So what I'd like to do now is I'm gonna run through the HARA diagnosis system again so you can get an idea of that, okay? And what you can do is you can actually draw this or you can record it, but I'm going to talk you through it. And then I'm going to do a poll. We'll figure out which element you most like to work. I've got this all set up so that you can see me on the mat here. I'm just going to stop sharing the presentation. So I'm main screen. Okay, cool. So this is how the diagnosis system works. We actually, rather than relying on the HARA diagnosis, which is kind of a little bit too complicated, I think, for clients to really learn, we use the 3 burners. Okay, so I'd like you can do this sitting up, or if you've got a place to lie down, that's really good. Just lie down and relax. Okay, and we're going to tune into our lower burner. Okay, now this is really important because later on we're going to do some really cool stuff for treating the lower burner with the durables, and I'll show you how to do that. So let's just tune in now, relax, tune in internally, and get a sense of your lower heater. Okay, what is it like? And then we can differentiate that into the intestines. Very easy for the clients to feel. Get a feel for the intestines. And then get a feel for the center of the lower hara, which relates to the kidney chi. And also it's right over the bladder. So you're going to kind of get the water element energy readout there. All right, so we've got large intestine and then kidney and bladder. Okay, so just remember what that feels like. Now we're going to go to the middle heater. What does your middle heater feel like, or what is it like compared to your lower heater? Just tune in and feel that for a second. Okay, different? All right, so now we can differentiate that into the stomach and the liver. So you can ask your clients, does it feel different on the left or the right? And I'd like you to tune in right now. What does it feel like? Okay, remember that. Okay, and then we can go up into the upper heater. Clients can pretty easily tune into the upper heater, and then you can differentiate that into the lungs and the heart. So let's just feel the whole of the upper heater. And then feel the lungs. Okay, and then the heart. Okay, very good. So now what I'd like you to do is just remember that feeling, and I just want you to pick one of those 6 areas to work. So we've got the digestive, we've got the large intestine, kidney and bladder, stomach and spleen, essentially, liver and gallbladder, lungs, and the heart. Okay, so from that, because you're Shiatsu practitioners, you'll be able to work out which element you would like to work on. And if you can tell me that, that will be really useful, because I can build that into the next session over the next 45 minutes, 50 minutes. Okay, so let's just have a look. Which element do you most need work on? Let's find out the horrible truth of the group. Which one? And water was the favorite last week. I can remember that. And look at this, it still is, which you're going to love this, because I've got some super cool stuff to do for the water element. Look at that, it's a clear winner. Okay, and the earth element's only just slightly behind, but well, no, it's 20%, slightly ahead of the other ones. Okay, so water element wins hands down. Anyone want to add to that? Just while that's coming in, I'll put the slides back up. Okay, so you can see it works really, really well. And that's a great way of getting the Setsu Shin done for your clients, even though you can't touch them with these techniques, okay? Okay, so when you're tonifying, thinking about tonifying and sedating, right? You've now got an element and you know whether you're deficient or excess, okay? If you're tonifying, you want to emphasize the connection. We're going to do that in a second. Interoception, you want to get the client inside their body, feeling the connections of the channels, slow breathing, and use the action of those points. If you want to move stuff, do-in is good, or more vigorous exercises. Again, tuning in, releasing breathing, okay? And then, of course, the action of the points again. So we've got a lot of stuff we can do, all right? Now, just to remind you, those of you who were here last week, we did pretty much a whole session. It was really cool. We did a lot of work on the legs. We did some sedating the stomach and the gallbladder using the exercise ball, using these 12 centimeter balls. We did some work on the chest and the arms, and we did some stuff on the face, and we did some stuff on the neck. And I showed you this really cool technique of connecting bladder 10 with bladder 60. You love that. I remember that. Okay. And it is life-changing. I felt 2 centimeters taller after I'd done that. It really was amazing. So moving on to this week, we've got a nice half an hour, maybe 35 minutes to do some more stuff. Okay, and we will be using the exercise balls quite a bit. And I just want to make sure, just wondered, how many of you actually have got your exercise balls together? I did email you this morning. I hope that you could do it. I hope that some of you at least will be able to make some kind of attempt at getting it. If you haven't, don't worry, just check it out and get some sorted ASAP and start practicing, because it's really awesome stuff. Okay, so it's not all exercise ball stuff, but if it isn't and you haven't got them, just gonna have to improvise. Okay, but cool, that's really good. Okay, like 80% of you, 78, 80% of you've got it together. I really appreciate that. That's really cool. Okay, so let's go. All right. Yeah, so we're going to do this week's session. We're going to do some work on the lower burner, a little bit of Manpuku therapy, and then we're just going to check you've got the face sorted out. And then I've got some cool stuff for the neck. Okay, and then we're going to do the bladder and gallbladder on the neck, and then the triple heater and small intestine on the neck using the exercise balls. And then we're going to be I'm going to show you how you can use these on the wall, which is like really cool as well for more delicate clients. And then loads of stuff on the back. Okay, and that will include working all the way down the back, the U-point areas, liver stagnation, and finally the lumbar, which is where you obviously need it, those water element people. Okay, so without further ado, let's put me full screen, and I'll go start. Well, we can start. Okay, right. So let's do some Manpuku therapy first. Okay, especially good for you water element people that need more water element exercise. I want you to work through it with me. It's really good if you do it, because you'll be able to really know what it feels like when you work with your clients. Okay, so here we go. First of all, we want to make sure that we can tonify the lower abdomen using lower abdominal breathing. Then what we're going to do is we're going to do some digestive Manpuku therapy, and then we're going to release the diaphragm. Okay, so first of all, placing your hands on the lower dantian. This is tuning into the bladder and the kidney area. Okay, now what can happen is this area can get very weak. All right, so we want to really relax, place the hands there. Okay, we're going to relax. We're going to go into our alignment, relaxing the neck and the head and the back. Okay, and we are going to bring our breath into the lower abdomen, right here, onto these points here. We're going to bring it in, into the lower hara. We're going to hold it. We're going to close the lower lock, just slowly closing around the perineum. Contain the energy in the lower hara. Hold it there. Then we're going to breathe out. Keeping the chi in the lower burner. Okay, let's do it a few more times. Let's do it 2 more times. So breathing in, bring the chi in. Okay, hold it. Close the lower lock. Breathing out. Keeping it closed. And then relaxing. You got it? Have you got it? Okay, so we're breathing in, bringing the chi down, closing the lower lock, just gently tightening the perineum, closing the lower lock, holding the chi in the lower hara, bringing it into the back, holding it, okay, and breathing out. Okay, now like we did last week, you can supplement that by some acupressure work, by putting your feet in this position so you can get to kidney 3. Okay, this is very popular. I was using this just this week with a client, placing the hands down on the lower part of the abdomen so you're actually in contact with kidney 11, which kind of goes through here and into there. Okay, and you can do this kind of thing where you're breathing into the lower hara, holding, and then just contacting kidney 3, opening up the kidney channel. Okay, so you get them to visualize between the ankle and kidney 11, and then breathing out. Very cool. Okay, do it on the other side. Obviously, you'd repeat it for maybe 5-10 minutes if someone had a lot of lower back pain or weakness in the lower hara. But this is just very, very effective. So breathing in. See where I've got my hand? I've got my hand here on the lower hara. I'm holding on to kidney 3. Okay, breathing in. Okay, breathing out. Okay, very good. So now let's get on to working the spleen and stomach areas here. Now this, of course, is where the small intestine is anatomically. And this can tighten up, as you know. This is knotting the spleen, it's called in Chinese medicine. Very prevalent at the moment with all the anxiety about the virus and everything. And obviously you get a lot of IBS symptoms in our clients. So there's various things we can do. We can do the rubbing technique, which is very effective, very good for tonifying if they're very deficient. So we can work around the spleen area like this, again, relaxing the arms, okay? We can work around the spleen like this and then extend it into the whole bowel. Notice that you're covering the stomach as you go round. Okay, so this is very good for any deficient style IBS. You want to get them to rub their hands together until it's warm and to keep the arms relaxed and get them to get that chi through their hands, okay? If you've got more stagnation, you've got more obstruction, then you can use more Manpuku Therapy style techniques. And what I usually get my clients to do is I get them to try and use the weight of their relaxed hands. So instead of pressing in like this with the muscles, I get them to literally get their hands as heavy as they can, okay, and work around the intestines like this, using finger pressure like this, okay, using the weight of the relaxed hands as high, as easily as you can, really relaxing round. And you can get them to work around here. Any areas of pain or stiffness or obstruction, you have to slowly work it using direct local pressure. Okay. And again, you can go round. This is for more obstruction. Again, if you want to, you can keep it nice and slow with internal breathing, and that will help tonify as well. Whoa, that's so okay. Keeping it relaxed. Very strong technique, okay? Even just with the weight of the relaxed hands. We go all the way round, and then we can repeat that several times until you get the whole bowel nice and relaxed. Okay, so we've got bladder, kidney area, we've got the bowel, the small intestine, okay, and the stomach, all as part of this rubbing and pressing. The other thing that I do a lot with clients, especially with a lot of stress around, is the diaphragm gets very tight. So we use this technique here. I'll show you. You use the weight of the relaxed hand and you work from the center of the body out along the diaphragm, underneath the ribs, just relaxing the weight of the hands and making sure that you get as much release as you can using the least amount of effort there. Okay. Okay, very good. All right. And of course, you can keep doing that for like 5-10 minutes, maybe 15 minutes with the client, depending on what they're doing. Okay, so moving on. Okay, let's move on and let's start working the neck. Now, the neck and the back are the biggest challenges with self-shiatsu supervision, which is where these come in, right? Because they really do help. So first of all, basic stuff, things that I love doing, connecting the bladder with the bladder meridian in the neck with the back. Okay, super cool. Love this. Okay, I generally use this one for the lower back here. And if you haven't got a ball, then what you'll have to do is just press in with your thumbs and get the same kind of effect. Okay, so I'm going to just get this pillow out of the way and stick this right on bladder 10. And if I rest my weight of my head back, I can adjust the weight, the pressure, by how much I lean my head back onto this ball here, okay? Now, if you've got bladder-related neck pain, you want to basically get them in touch with the whole bladder channel, and that's where we did this last week, remember? Bladder 60, this is awesome, this technique. You just bring this here like that, you adjust the weight, okay? And you can adjust it from very light, okay, to extremely strong. If I lift up my body like this, you can see I'm putting all my weight down onto those points. The main thing, of course, is you want to get the internal perception of the channel. So what we do is and if you haven't got a ball, you just need to press bladder 10 and imagine down your body, okay? What we're doing is we're adjusting the technique, adjusting the weight so that the weight is balanced between those points. Okay. And then if it's too strong, what you can do is bring the pillow up like this. This is what I do. Bring the pillow up, take some of the weight off the head, and then it makes it a little bit lighter. Okay, so I'm just going to do that for myself, make it a little bit lighter. That's it. Okay, nice. So now I'm relaxing. And I'm connecting those two areas of pressure, and I'm adjusting the weight until I get it just nicely balanced on bladder 60 and bladder 10. And I can feel my whole back now opening up. Okay, and that's ideal for deficient style bladder and kidney people that have got neck issues. And you can work down the neck, down the bladder into the neck really easily by just simply rolling it down. Okay, rolling it down. You could maybe spend 15, 20 minutes just slowly working down the neck like this, all the time stimulating bladder 62, or some other points that we're going to do a little bit later, okay? Really cool stuff. Okay, now, if you've got gallbladder related issues with the neck, all right, this is the one for you, because this is perfect for gallbladder 20. Just show you how different it is, okay? I'll put this in here. And because it's wider, it sits right on gallbladder 20. So what you can do then is, if you want your clients to really feel that, is to do something very simple, which is just to get them like this, okay? Tune into the gallbladder channel, down the sides of the body. Okay, again, I'm adjusting the weight by lifting my head slightly. In fact, I'm going to put this pillow just slightly underneath here. Just take it off a bit. Yeah, that's it. Nice. Okay, and then look, check this out. Slowly take them into the gallbladder stretch. And what you'll feel, if you stretch all the way down the side of your body, is you'll get to a point just around here. Well, it is for me. For you, it might be a bit different because you're flexible. Get to about here. Where is it? Just there, and I can feel the whole channel connect up all the way into the foot. Okay, and if I really breathe into it and really release, I can feel it opening up the gallbladder channel in my neck and connecting it all the way down to my feet. Okay, so there you go. Okay, also look, what I found also is if you just slightly turn your head, like I'm turning my head slightly to the left now, that stimulates the gallbladder channel on the right, on the left side more, and I can feel it opening up the whole neck and right down the sides of the body into the leg. Okay, awesome, really good. Very difficult to do is to get that whole feeling. If you haven't got the balls, you just have to press in and do the stretches. Okay, right, cool. Now the next thing is working, connecting with the arms. I'll just quickly show that because I want to get on to the work in the back. But what I've also found is that if you've got, say, triple heater channel issues or small intestine channel issues, what you can do is activate the channel by stretching the meridian in the arm. So for example, let's do triple heater first. Look, if I put this little one here on bladder, it's bladder 10, but if you just roll it down a bit, it's also catching the triple heater channel, right? We can do stretches like this, opening up the heart protector, okay? And then you can stretch this way. Like if I go like that and I stretch the triple heater channel like this, okay, I can get to a point again where I can just feel that connection all the way from the neck. Okay, triple heater. Gallbladder and further out, you're going to catch the small intestine channel, activate that, getting into stretch, or like this. Just there, I can feel a connection all the way from the neck down. You can get into do self-shiatsu down the small intestine channel. Okay, if you think that's the channel that they need, okay, it's going to be perfect. Same thing this side, look. Okay, so with a bit of imagination, you can connect any neck issues on the yang channels with the arm channels and the channels that go down the body, which makes it so much more effective than just getting them to work locally. Okay, so now we go on to my favorite bit, which is working the back. Okay. Now this is always a bit of a challenge with self shiatsu. If you get people with back problems, maybe related to the upper burner, like the lungs and the heart, maybe related to the digestive organs, like the stomach and spleen, gallbladder, liver, and also lower back, related to the kidney, it's kind of tough to be able to get people to reach them. And this is where these things come in really handy. And one of the things you can do with clients, if you think it's a bit much for them to lie on the floor, is to get them to work up against a wall. And I'll show you how to do that. If I put the, yeah, okay, perfect. Okay, so what happens is, if you can imagine, what you do is you put the duo balls behind the client, and that enables them to work parts of the back like this, okay, and adjust the amount of pressure really easily. Okay, you can also combine it with points on the back. So now I've got like this. Okay, so you can combine things like, we're going to do this in a minute, bladder 23 and bladder 10. Okay, get them to breathe down the channel, ease out any neck stiffness, and look, I'm rolling down, and what happens is this stimulate and roll through the channels, opening up bladder 10 and opening up the lower back. Okay, so if you've got clients who want to take it nice and easy, you can get them to do a whole routine. Obviously, I would recommend you do what I do, which is I kind of develop it on my own, develop all this stuff on my own, and then with clients in mind, I've got particular clients with particular issues, develop it first and then take it out in your self-shiatsu sessions. Okay, so this is the bit that I really love doing. This is working right down the back, okay? So we've basically got the upper heater. This is one particular area that I have a lot of problems with myself, around T1, which is a very frustrating area to get to because it's very difficult to do self-shiatsu. Well, this 8 centimeter duo ball is perfect. You can put it right around T1, okay? And you can get right in there like this, okay? And this is just pure sedation, opening up around T1, okay? Doesn't look like much, but actually it feels absolutely terrific. It's great pressure. And then once you start releasing it, then you're getting to visualize down the channels of the arm or the back, okay? Like that, okay? Once you've done that, then you're going down further, you're getting into the lung area, okay? The lung, heart, and heart protector area of the back. What I do for that is I use this one because it's pretty much space to get the U points. However, it's pretty tough on the upper mid back because it's quite high. And if you get your client to do this, unless they're pretty stagnated and pretty tough, what's going to happen is it's going to be quite strong for them. So this is where the pillows come in. Okay. And what I do with this is I put the pillows like this, either side of the duo ball, and you can put as many pillows as you need just to take the pressure off it. Okay. You can adjust it to where you're going to think you're going to want it, maybe around there. It's going to be around the heart diagnostic area. Bring this back. Okay, so this is around the heart diagnostic area, heart protector. Now that's really comfortable. I can put another pillow underneath here. Okay, that's really comfortable like that. It's not too strong. Okay, and then what you can do is you can combine that stimulation with stretching the channels. Okay, stretching the heart protector. And if I just get it up right into the heart protector U point, which is right there, I can go out like this, open up the channel, and there's a point, a place in the stretch just around here where I can feel a connection with the channel all the way through, inside the chest, right through. Can you get that? Anyone who's got duo ball can do that, or exercise balls, maybe tennis balls. If you can get it, you can get that feeling of the connection with the internal channel and the back. Okay, and that's very useful for clients that have back pain associated with the heart protector and the lung meridians. Okay, because you can also adapt that. If I go down a lot further, so now I'm on the lung U point, Stretch up. Stretch the lung. Again, there's a point just there where I can feel the lungs opening up and the U point being stimulated. Okay, so that's the upper thoracic, and I'm sure you can work on that. Other ideas, you've got self shiatsu while they're in that position if they need that part of the back opening up. Okay, this is something I'm developing for one of my clients at the moment who has severe back pain to do with liver stagnation. Okay, and it's kind of a tough one because basically you need quite strong technique, very difficult to do on your own. I've been working with him with some yoga twists and things like that, and Doin has been pretty effective. But what's really needed is it's a sort of client you'd probably want to get your elbows in the prone position and get really rid of that obstruction there. Okay, and this is one I've come up with so far. What is this technique, which is to use the area around the liver area, diagnostic area of the back, which is where the tightness occurs, and combine it with the liver channel stretch. Check this out. Okay, if you've got it, see if this is too strong for you. If it's too strong, put the cushions in. Let me just see how I feel about it. Okay, so see where I've got the ball? I've got it around here, right where he gets that stiffness there. Okay, I'm going to go like this. Okay, wow, that's just a bit too strong. So I'm going to put some pillows in here, take some pressure off. Yeah, that's great. Okay, so now you see, look, what I can do is roll around there, start moving it. But what we really want is to integrate it with the liver channel. And this is what I found is really good. Take the legs like this, okay? Place them like this. Open them up into the liver channel. Stretch like this, okay? And then get that internal connection with the liver channel and the back. Okay, and you can adjust it until you've got just the right amount of weight, until you can feel the connection right through into the liver channel. You can hold it, release, then look, move like this. Sedating that liver obstruction in the back, stimulating and connecting with the liver channel. Okay, very, very good. And something you really want to do with your client. It's so frustrating you can't get in there. Our frustration is related to the liver meridian, by the way. Yeah, so that's just a really good way of doing it. Similar kind of thing you can also do for the digestive meridians, like the stomach and spleen. If you've got people with lower thoracic obstruction around the stomach and spleen U points, this is one that I've developed for that. You just simply place the dual ball at the bottom of the lower part of the stomach and spleen U points, okay? And then you combine it again with the stretch. Okay, and this is how it works. I'm just going to give myself a bit of a break here. I'm going to use pillows either side because it's a little bit too strong for me on the stomach and spleen, to be honest, diagnostic areas. So I'm going to place it probably about there, isn't it? Give myself a bit of a pillow here. All right. Let's see. Okay. Yep. Okay, that's good. Okay. Right, so I just need to go a little bit up this way so you can see my feet. Let's move it this way. There you go. Okay, I wanted to show you your feet because the feet are important in this because they determine whether you're doing a stomach stretch. So if I do this, again, I've got the dual ball right on the spleen. This is right on the spleen U point at the moment. Okay, so I'm going to see if I can integrate it with the channel. I'm opening up the spleen channel, pointing my toes out. Could even do this. Oh, wow, that's great. Okay, I've got it absolutely bang on there. I can feel the spleen channel connecting with the lower thoracic. So we should get the clients to breathe into that. Feel that connection. Okay, and if I roll the ball down slightly onto the stomach U point, whoa, that's it. Bring that pillow up and then point my toes down like this, stretching the stomach channel. Okay, feels absolutely awesome. Okay, so if you get those clients, typically you get that pain in the lower thoracic around that U point. integrating it with the channel is like totally cool. But probably the most common thing you're going to get is going to be lower back pain due to kidney deficiency. And in fact, as a group, that's your favorite thing. All right, so let's spend a bit of time working on that. Again, you might need to use the pillows if it's too much for you. But what I think is really awesome is stimulating, starting off with bladder 23, connecting it with bladder 10, because that's one of my favorite technique things in Shiatsu, is to open up the lower back using bladder 10, and then to do direct work on bladder 23, and then work down the legs. Okay, so here's a little routine that I put together, which I think is, you know, like really good, that you might like. And it goes something like this. I'm going to try it without the pillows first, and I'll just see how I get on, and then I might bring the pillows back in. So let's just see. Okay, so what you really want is you want this little guy on bladder 10 and this one on bladder 23, okay? So you're going to just adjust that a little bit until you get it just on bladder 23. Now you can find you can adjust the penetration of the point really nicely by literally just lowering yourself down on it from 0 pressure all the way down to you know, quite strong. Okay, now for most people with deficiency bladder lower back, you don't want it to be too sedating, you don't want it too strong, you want it nice and slow, fairly gentle, a lot of connection, a lot of internal breathing, a lot of interoception. Okay, so that's where these guys come in, because now I can put this durable 8 centimeter right on bladder 10. Okay, I'm going to adjust this slightly because it's a little bit low. I'm going to get right on bladder 23. Okay, now I can do that without the pillows, because what's happening is I'm keeping a lot of my weight off the balls using my legs, and it's actually not that strenuous. Even your tired clients will be able to do it. And if I close my eyes, relax the weight, relax my body, adjust it so it's still a little bit too low, just get right on bladder 23. There you go, right on the waist. Yeah, there you go, right? That is the most wonderful feeling of connection. I've got that right through, and I can even feel it opening up some of the vertebrae in between. Such a powerful combination. Bladder 10, bladder 23, and that's something your clients just won't be able to do with self-shiatsu technique. It's just impossible. If you haven't got the balls, what I suggest you do is you just press bladder 10 and imagine something's happening in bladder 23. You'll feel the connection. Okay. And then what I like to do then is, once you've got that, it is really good, is to move this slightly down and start working on the lower lumbar and releasing the lower lumbars. Again, adjusting the weight. Okay, so I'm around bladder 25 now, actually. I'm round about where the large intestine U point is. And I go down onto the sacrum. Okay, this fits quite nicely on the sacrum. Again, I'm just adjusting it. All the time I'm getting a nice stimulation on bladder 10, which is opening up the whole of my back. Okay, see how I'm doing it? I'm working down. I'm just going to, now if you've got really athletic clients that need a lot more pressure, you can get them to lift up their legs like this. That makes it like super strong, but then you can also take it off, so it's really light. You can adjust it. I'm going down through the sacroiliac joint here. I'm going all the way down. I'm working right down the sacrum here, down towards the coccyx, all the time opening up the whole spine. Yeah? Each time I'm breathing, I'm tuning in internally. Obviously, you do this very slowly if you had very deficient clients, getting a lot of internal breathing, combining it with the lower abdominal breathing. Okay. Okay, and then check this out. Look. You want to extend that work just like you do if you did a session. You'd probably go down to bladder 36. Look, I'm placing the durable right on bladder 36. Okay, check this out. Bring your legs down. And now connect bladder 10 with bladder 36 right through the whole back. Okay, again, internal, relaxing, releasing. Okay, fantastic. Okay, another favorite point of mine, bladder 40. So we stick that right underneath the knees. Okay, just a fantastic way of consolidating any work on the lower back, just like you do in a session. You know, when you do down the spine, you work the lower back, probably use bladder 36, bladder 40, bladder 62, just to get that real energy connection all the way through the lower back. Well, that's what we're doing here with the dual. So again, look at this, bladder 40, great point. Again, by lifting up my feet, I can increase the weight, or I can bring my feet down so it's fairly light, like that. Okay, getting a little bit too strong for me around the bladder 10, so I'm going to just take some of the weight off. Got a pillow there. Yeah, okay, that's nice. Okay, and then down, bladder 62, bladder 60. Okay, now I can do with a little bit more strength, so I'm going to take this off. Okay, there you go. So to review, we can work the neck. You can get the bladder channel, the triple heater, the gallbladder, and the small intestine channel using these. And you can connect them with the rest of the body and with the arms if you're working primarily on releasing the neck. Okay. I'm sure you can make up loads of stuff yourself. You know all about the distal points. You can get them to combine it with self shiatsu. You know, it's really good. Once you've sorted the neck out, then you can work down. This one's my favorite for around T1, you know, where all the yang channels connect. Very effective. As soon as you've got it released, though, you want to start opening up the whole back. This is my choice, although it's too strong on the mid-thoracic, so I would recommend using the pillows to either side to take some of the pressure off. And then you can combine it with the yin channels of the arm, heart protector, heart, lungs, and you can combine it with the techniques we did last week. So you can cover the whole mid-thoracic area, okay? And then you've got the lower thoracic, terrific work, opening up the liver channel, moving the liver obstruction, okay? Also, you can connect it with stomach and spleen new points, stretch out, stretch open the spleen, okay, release that part. And then you can work down into the lumbar. You've got the small intestine diagnostic area, but you've also got bladder 23 is the target point for me. That's a really effective point. Get this into bladder 23, connect it up with bladder 10. It's awesome, okay? Then you can work down, all the way down into the sacrum. And what I was doing was I was actually working right the way down here, rolling it down, connecting with bladder 10. If it's too strong, put some cushions either side of it to make it a bit lighter. And then continuing down, bladder 36, bladder 40, bladder 62. Okay, and that's it. Okay. So I'll just get my camera back up again. Did I forget anything? No, that's it. Okay, great. So what did you think? Anyone who worked through that? Any questions or comments? Let's see if there's any comments. First of all, did you like that work? I mean, my back feels amazing. Let's have a few thumbs up in the chat if you love it. Yeah, bladder 10 and bladder 23 is an absolutely killer combination. Really, really good. Yeah. It is very strong though. I mean, yeah, the duo balls, you can, if you go on the online site, there's a link there. If you go onto the online site, there's a link with them, with where to get these. You can make your own though. Oh, my back feels amazing. Okay, it is pretty strong though. So make sure if you're working with clients, especially if they're deficient, you want to keep these pillows at hand, lots of internal breathing. But I think what it does really, what I feel is it actually, yeah, thanks, Deborah. It just released some pain she got for this workshop. All right, okay, that's a good idea. Rolled up blanket, that's in a much softer way. That's a kind of like a, yeah, if you, yeah, I think this, well, Daniela, that I found that most of my clients have some kind of issues like this. So if it's a bit too strong for them, you want to separate, you know, put the cushions either side of them, make sure that you internally tune in, stuff like that. Because the thing is that I found with the self shiatsu, the bit that is the hardest to do is the back. That's the bit that's the trickiest. I've got plenty of clients, as I said, with back issues, and it's really a case of trying to solve it. It's a way of kind of solving that issue, which is how can you get really effective pressure on the back. But as I was saying last week as well, to transform it into a shiatsu type experience, the most important thing is to get the clients away from feeling the local pressure and get them into feeling the action of the points. Okay, the action of the points. And so that's why I think that bladder 10, bladder 23 combination works so well, because there's such strong actions to the points. You don't need a lot of pressure, so you just need the internal application of the client's perception to get them into that feeling. And once they've got that, several of my clients have said that when they come back for face-to-face shiatsus, they're going to be so much more aware of what's going on, and they're going to feel that they can participate much more in the shiatsu process, which is kind of useful. Oh, 4 tennis balls in a sock help to get bladder 36. Yeah, cool. Okay, that's good. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, great. Okay, so let's get the let's have a look, just see if we've got any questions. Have we got any questions at all? Yeah, okay. So Alison asked where you can find the documents of the lessons. They're all online. I've got a link for you. Here's the course landing page. Okay, if you haven't been on the course yet, then just download this link. You might, if you haven't got an account yet, or you haven't signed in to New Energy Work, then you're going to have to create an account. But it's all free now, as I'm going to explain in the next few minutes. Okay, so let's, yeah, you've got that link, and let's get the slides back up. Right, okay, so there we go. There's the, okay, I'm just going to hide this. Yeah, okay, so yeah, this is a good time probably to mention that waiting for you online is a replay of all the webinars, okay, all the 4 webinars and the 5th one next week. I've also shared with you the slides that we use for our client support thing. Louisa asks, where's the link for the durables? It's on the online course. Okay, so it's got replay for all the webinars, slides from the client support class, and I've actually put a video for an online session with the real client, one that I did quite early on in lockdown. So I knew what we had to do, and a lot of it was like moving energy and things like that, but you can see what a real one is like. I did it on Zoom, and he gave me permission to release it. So I got permission from him to use it as a teaching tool. So you can see what it's really like at the front end of doing these sessions. I'm actually developing some techniques specifically for him. He's got these. So hopefully, I'm hoping in the next few weeks that I'm going to be able to do a session with him and record it using the durables, in which case I will put that online and make sure that it's added into the course so you can skip back and have a look at it. Okay. We've also, when we're doing online sessions, we use a format. So we've given them to you in PDF and doc format so that you can download them and use them or adapt them for your own work. Okay. Really recommend that you do document your work. It's great. We scan them and we send them out to our clients so they've got a record of the treatment, which is like really kind of useful, and they like that. And also you can email links to them of any cool exercises or yoga exercises that you want to do. Okay. Okay, the quiz for module 2 is up, but I haven't done the quiz yet for module 3. I'm going to do that tonight or tomorrow morning, so you have to wait for that one. That's coming up. But in the next day, we're going to get all the quizzes up for all of them. Okay, Pascal, but well spotted there. We've got a link to Balin's insurance. The module 3 course is coming along, and I've got the module 4 course up. Okay, I've shared that with you. So that's all really cool. Okay. Are there any other questions? You can't see the module 2 quiz. Okay, I'll check it out. I'll check it out straight after the after this.
Yeah, sorry.
Sounds like Diane's coming back.
I can't take down the landing page. Karen Elisa can take it down, but I can't take it down. It's still covering the slides. I don't know if everyone else can see.
Oh, is it really? Okay. All right. Well, I'll delete that now. I'll delete the action. Okay. So that we are. It probably depends a bit on the browser and how it pops things up and things, something we can't really control. Okay, cool. We've got 5 minutes left. Are there any more questions? I tell you, I feel at least 2 or 3 centimeters taller myself. So are there any other questions? Otherwise, we can just finish up. I can just explain the last bit of the course and maybe give you some announcements of some of the cool things that are coming up on new energy work. Okay, so we thought we'd have a graduation. We thought that'd be really fun. So next Tuesday, we're going to do a review. I'll do a little self-shiatsu thing for you. So just to finish off, show you some other things of how you can put it together, link it with the diagnosis. We'll have a Q&A session, review of the whole course. It will mark the end of the course, and anyone who finishes the course this week and can get the certificate, we'll give them the shout out if they want us to do that. Okay, and so I just thought it'd be really nice to just give recognition for those of you who've completed it. We'll have the certificate up in the next few days, so when you complete the whole course, you'll be able to download that. Okay, and that's how it works, and then you can take that and use that for CPDC credits. Okay, just in case you don't know, okay, since the virus, we've actually we've just released all our paid content, including this course, free of charge for those of you who've got severe financial difficulties. And we're basically trusting the universe, we're working cooperatively, and we're sharing out all the money equally between us if we get any over our expenses, because obviously it costs a lot of money to keep this whole thing going. And we survived last month. We haven't quite done the figures for this month yet, but we made it last month. We made just over the minimum wage, so we've really happy about that. So if you're not donating, or you're not donating regularly, maybe you're a professional member from back in the day when we charged and you're still paying, we want to say a big thank you for that. And if you have donated, that's really wonderful. But we have got a donate link on the website at New Energy Work. And basically, if you give us 10 euros, that covers a webinar, 50 euros for the 8-hour course. And if you want to fund someone, sponsor someone, then you could pay for their course as well. That would be really amazing. But we do realize that a lot of you are having a lot of financial problems. And obviously what we're trying to do is we're trying to spread this work and keep the whole Shiatsu world cooking, so that we're all tuned up and we've got our clients. We're looking after our clients during this difficult time when they most need it. And we are going to be in so much stronger position to come back doing energy work, having done a lot of this internal work ourselves as we're going along. Okay, so next week, week 5, Q&A session. We'll review the course. I'll do a little treatment with you, and that will wrap up the course. And just to tell you that after that week, that's in 2 weeks' time, we haven't advertised it yet. This is all new news, and you'll get a link soon. We've got the wonderful people at Subook. I don't know if you've got Subook, the app, yet, but we're in partnership with them, and we've been doing some work with them, and we love their app. And they're going to do a webinar for us showing all about Subook, telling them about their amazing story, about how they developed it. It's going to be a lot of fun. And we're going to welcome them in 2 weeks' time. So we hope you can make that. And then after that, we're going to launch our next course, which is going to be on distant healing for Shiatsu, not distance Shiatsu healing, by the way, because we got into trouble from people about that. So we're going to call it distance healing for Shiatsu practitioners. And we're hoping to get some guests on for that. And it'll be the same format as this course. We're going to do these live webinar-based courses, 4-week courses with 5 webinars, beginning and end, 4 weeks in between. And so we're going to do that. And then for those of you who are teachers, over the summer, we're going to put together a really fun teacher training course over the summer, just to get you geared up for the autumn. Okay, so we've got lots of cool stuff coming up. Really hope that you could join us for that. And so I guess I'm just going to take the questions off so I can see what I'm doing. Yeah, okay, so all we've got now is 1 minute to say goodbye. Okay, hope you're excited about, oh yeah, and just one other thing, tomorrow we've got the volunteers. Okay, you should have got an email about that. We're a little bit excited about that. Tomorrow at 6 o'clock, we're going to get a whole group of volunteers. We've got over 100 people volunteering so far. We're going to get together on Demio like this. I'm going to explain kind of what we're going to do. Then we're going to break out into Zoom. And just like the French people, Fanny and Helene did, we're going to have a kind of fun working thing where we're going to ask you to help us translate the the courses, and it's going to be kind of a big social thing as well. So it's going to be a lot of fun. So check that out. Okay, so loads of exciting things coming up. Thank you so much for. Thank you so much. Yeah, we're doing a volunteer thing tomorrow. And if you don't know about that, I'll put something up on the site, but you should have got an email about that. Okay, it's an hour has gone by. Okay, thank you so much. That was very active, and I hope you feel as amazing as I do. I feel 2 or 3 centimeters taller. Thank you, Dinah, for sorting out the chat. And I'm just going to give you a big thumbs up in the chat to say goodbye. And it's been a lot of fun. Okay, and see you next Tuesday for the graduation and for the Q&A. All right. Look after yourself for a week, and I'll see you here next Tuesday.